The glittering lights of New York City have always served as the ultimate backdrop for the world's most dramatic cultural moments, but few spaces carry the sheer mythical weight of Madison Square Garden. For decades, this iconic arena has been the proving ground for legendary musicians, championship athletes, and historical spectacles that capture the global imagination. It is a place where dreams are either solidified into history or scrutinized under the unforgiving lens of public opinion. When two of the absolute biggest forces in modern entertainment and sports decide to converge in such a monumental venue, the world inevitably stops to watch. The anticipation surrounding this unprecedented gathering had been building for months, fueled by whispers of unparalleled luxury, a guest list that read like a definitive registry of global power, and an architectural transformation that turned a sports coliseum into a dreamlike sanctuary. Every detail was guarded with intense security, creating an atmosphere of intense mystery and immense public curiosity. Outside the towering walls of the arena, crowds of dedicated followers and curious onlookers gathered, hoping to catch a fleeting glimpse of the glamour unfolding within. It was a celebration designed to redefine the very concept of a high-profile gathering, a moment where pop culture royalty and athletic dominance officially merged into a singular, unstoppable entity. Yet, beneath the surface of this shimmering, star-studded spectacle, a quiet storm was already beginning to gather, demonstrating how quickly public fascination can transform into sharp criticism when the boundaries of traditional celebration are completely rewritten. Before we dive deeper into the astonishing specifics of this massive event and unravel the intense public debate that followed, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an in-depth breakdown of the moments shaping global culture. To truly understand the scale of what transpired within the heart of Manhattan, one must first look at the incredible cultural journey that led to this moment. For years, the public has watched the separate, meteoric rises of a generational musical icon and a legendary professional athlete, both dominant figures who have redefined their respective industries. When their paths crossed, it created a massive cultural phenomenon that transcended music and sports, capturing the fascination of millions around the globe. Every public appearance, every shared victory, and every subtle nod in interviews became a matter of international interest, building toward an inevitable celebration that would match their combined influence. The choice of Madison Square Garden was not merely a logistical decision to accommodate a massive crowd, it was a deliberate statement of scale and cultural significance. Transforming an arena known for thunderous sports crowds and massive rock concerts into an intimate, highly luxurious, and beautifully curated venue required an unprecedented level of design and coordination. Elite event planners, world-renowned floral designers, and master lighting technicians worked tirelessly behind closed doors to create an environment that felt entirely removed from the outside world. The result was a breathtaking transformation, a visual masterpiece that blended modern elegance with classic grandeur, setting a stage that seemed almost too vast to be real. As the doors opened to welcome a select group of 1,000 extraordinarily prominent guests, the air was thick with the sense that history was being made in real time. The guest list itself represented a staggering accumulation of wealth, influence, and global fame. From Hollywood movie moguls and legendary chart-topping musicians to elite sports icons and international supermodels, the room was a dense concentration of the world's most recognizable faces. Icons of the music industry who have filled stadiums worldwide stood alongside championship athletes who have defined the modern era of professional sports. This was not just a gathering of friends and family, it was a historic convergence of distinct industries, creating an atmosphere charged with immense star power. As these influential figures mingled beneath custom-designed installations, the event took on the quality of a grand cultural summit. Every interaction was a collision of major public personas, and the sheer density of celebrity presence ensured that the evening would be analyzed for years to come. The scale of the hospitality matches the grand setting, with world-class chefs preparing an extraordinary culinary journey and master mixologists crafting unique beverages designed specifically for the occasion. The visual landscape inside the arena was of masterclass in modern luxury, where no expense was spared to ensure that every single one of the 1,000 attendees felt entirely immersed in an unforgettable experience. It was an environment built to celebrate achievement, partnership, and the pinnacle of modern success, radiating a level of luxury that few events in human history have ever managed to achieve. However, The very elements that made this grand gathering so spectacular were precisely what began to trigger a massive wave of public scrutiny. In an era where the public is increasingly sensitive to massive displays of affluence, an event of this magnitude was bound to draw intense analysis from observers around the world. As subtle details and early images began to find their way into the digital sphere, the initial awe and fascination began to mix with a growing sense of collective skepticism. The contrast between the hyper-luxurious sanctuary inside Madison Square Garden and the ordinary everyday realities of the city outside its doors created a noticeable tension. While the elite guests celebrated within the beautifully transformed arena, the public online space began to dissect the sheer scale of the expenditure, questioning the cultural message sent by such an over-the-top display of wealth. This shift in public sentiment highlights the complex relationship between global icons and their audience, showing how easily admiration can turn into backlash when the presentation of success crosses an invisible line in the public consciousness. The unfolding celebration was no longer just a private milestone, it had transformed into a massive public debate about modern celebrity culture, responsibility, and the nature of excess in the modern world. What began as whispers of amazement quickly escalated into a fully realized controversy as specific, highly unusual details of the evening's entertainment began to emerge. It was revealed that the hosts had introduced a highly unconventional element to the festivities, a feature that would rapidly become the primary target of public disdain. Instead of adhering to traditional customs, the celebration featured an extraordinary arrangement where incredibly rare, high-end designer items were distributed to the already exceptionally wealthy attendees through a unique structural format. This unexpected addition to an already lavish evening immediately shifted the tone of the event from a romantic celebration to something resembling a high-stakes exhibition of luxury commerce. The inclusion of items that represent the absolute pinnacle of global luxury fashion and horology raised immediate questions about the intent and the underlying message of the gesture. As news of these extraordinarily valuable tokens began to circulate beyond the heavily guarded walls of Manhattan's most famous arena, the initial fascination curdled into widespread criticism, setting the stage for a major digital confrontation that would challenge the public image of these beloved figures. The true nature of this controversial feature, the specific luxury items involved, and the dramatic, polarizing reactions it provoked across global social platforms will be fully explored as we continue our narrative. The unfolding drama inside Madison Square Garden took a highly unexpected turn when the true nature of the evening's entertainment was fully revealed to the public, igniting a fierce debate that rapidly spread across global digital platforms. At the center of this growing controversy was an extraordinary decision by the high-profile couple to organize an elite raffle, a highly unconventional addition to a traditional celebration that completely rewrote the rules of celebrity gatherings. Instead of standard tokens of appreciation, the prizes distributed to the 1,000 affluent guests were items of staggering value, representing the absolute pinnacle of global luxury. Attendees found themselves holding tickets that could instantly win them iconic Cartier watches, legendary Chanel handbags, and in some instances, entirely new luxury vehicles. This was not merely a playful game among friends, it was a massive, highly structured exhibition of extreme wealth that transformed a private milestone into a dazzling display of modern affluence. As the reality of these extravagant prizes began to leak out past the heavy security filters of the arena, the public reaction shifted swiftly from initial fascination to deep skepticism. With millions of observers questioning the cultural meaning behind such an immense presentation of luxury, the digital landscape erupted into intense discussion as specific details of the raffle began to emerge. With a highly active thread on the decentralized platform Polymarket becoming the primary hub for public criticism, social media users did not hold back their disdain, with many describing the entire spectacle as the absolute peak of modern excess and a performance art piece rather than a meaningful celebration. Critics pointed out the profound irony of distributing multi-thousand-dollar designer items to a crowd that already possessed immense generational wealth and unlimited access to luxury goods. One prominent commentator online noted with sharp sarcasm that the guests likely departed the arena with a far better collection of high-end loot than anything that could ever be found on a traditional wedding registry. The sentiment that the entire arrangement was deeply embarrassing for everyone involved began to gather immense momentum, reflecting a growing public fatigue with the unfiltered, highly public displays of affluence that have come to define modern celebrity culture. For many observers, the raffle crossed an invisible boundary, transforming a deeply personal and joyful milestone into a highly transactional demonstration of elite status. The wave of public criticism quickly expanded to include broader questions about social responsibility and the allocation of resources in a world facing significant economic challenges. Many internet users began to contrast the staggering expenditure inside Madison Square Garden with the difficult daily realities of the working-class individuals who keep the surrounding city functioning. Sharp critiques emerged suggesting that instead of rewarding a highly privileged group of celebrities, Hollywood executives, and elite athletes, the valuable luxury items should have been directed toward the local municipal workers, including police officers and sanitation staff, who were working long hours in intense heat over a busy holiday weekend to maintain the infrastructure around the massive event. Others took an even more global perspective, pointing out that the vast fortunes represented by Cartier timepieces and Chanel bags could have been used to fund massive humanitarian efforts, such as providing food and shelter to vulnerable communities around the world. The stark visual contrast between the ultra-exclusive, hyper-luxurious sanctuary within the arena and the ordinary struggles of everyday citizens outside created a powerful, highly polarizing narrative that dominated online discussions for days. The tension escalated further when direct evidence of the raffle's lavish prizes appeared on mainstream social networks, moving the controversy from the realm of anonymous internet rumors into verified reality. Jackie Tranquil, the prominent wife of professional athlete and Kansas City Chiefs star Drew Tranquil, became an unintended focal point of the public backlash after she shared her excitement on Instagram. On Monday morning, she uploaded a photo carousel to her public profile that explicitly documented her experience as one of the lucky winners of the controversial raffle. The images featured her official winning ticket alongside a stunning brand-new black Chanel 25 handbag crafted from premium-grained calfskin, a highly sought-after luxury item that carries a retail price tag of approximately $6,700. In her caption, she offered simple congratulations to the newlyweds, unaware of the intense storm of public scrutiny that was already building around the gesture. Her social media posts, which also showcased the glamorous designer dress she wore to the high-profile gathering, provided the public with an unfiltered, highly detailed window into the immense luxury of the evening, serving as definitive proof for critics who argued that the event had devolved into an unnecessary exhibition of elite privilege, as the online community dissected every image and caption. Some critics began to analyze the psychological and cultural undertones of the raffle, with one observer accusing the iconic singer of being permanently stuck in a high school mindset. The structured distribution of expensive door prizes was widely mocked as being after-prom coded, suggesting that the entire arrangement felt like an incredibly expensive, adult version of a high school dance raffle rather than a mature, sophisticated celebration. This specific line of criticism highlighted a deeper cultural disconnect where the attempt to create a fun, interactive experience for guests was viewed by the public as an immature and fundamentally tacky display of wealth. The phrase "rich people wedding culture is just straight-up performance art" became a defining slogan across social media platforms, as fans and detractors alike wrestled with the sheer scale of the event. Even those who admitted that participating in such a raffle would be undeniably fun for the individuals inside could not help but question the underlying ethics, asking why two of the most influential and wealthy figures in modern society would choose to give luxury assets to their already filthy rich peers instead of channeling that creative energy into direct, uncompromised global philanthropy. This intense wave of digital vitriol created a fascinating, highly complex paradox, as the public's sharp focus on the luxury raffle completely overshadowed an equally massive, unprecedented act of generosity that occurred simultaneously behind the scenes. While social media platforms were completely consumed by anger over Chanel bags and Cartier watches, representatives for the newly married couple released an official statement to the media detailing a philanthropic effort of staggering proportions. It was revealed that during their wedding week, the bride and groom had quietly authorized a massive $26 million in direct donations to at least 20 distinct charitable organizations across the United States. This enormous financial contribution was intentionally designed to address critical social issues, providing vital funding to 9 major food banks, 3 prominent children's hospitals, and 7 highly impactful educational programs. By ensuring that a significant portion of these funds went directly to a food bank operating in the singer's historic hometown of Reading, Pennsylvania, the couple attempted to maintain a deep connection to their roots. Even while standing at the absolute pinnacle of global fame, this massive charitable effort added an entirely new layer of complexity to the public narrative, challenging the simplistic view that the event was purely an exercise in thoughtless, uncontained luxury. The true scope of this hidden generosity began to take clear shape as individual charities started to publicly express their profound gratitude for the unexpected financial lifelines. Among the most notable beneficiaries was The Store, a highly respected nonprofit organization founded by contemporary musician Brad Paisley and his wife Kimberly Williams Paisley, which operates a unique, dignity-focused free grocery store for families facing food insecurity in Middle Tennessee. Following the receipt of a transformative gift from the high-profile couple, the organization's leadership shared an emotional, highly public thank you message on their digital channels. They expressed deep honor and gratitude for the immense support, emphasizing that this massive contribution would directly enable countless families to access fresh, nutritious food with genuine dignity and personal choice. The organization also extended their warmest congratulations to the couple as they began this monumental new chapter of their lives together, praising their willingness to make a tangible, long-lasting difference in the lives of vulnerable neighbors. This poignant public acknowledgement served as a powerful counterweight to the online anger, revealing that beneath the shimmering, highly criticized surface of the Madison Square Garden spectacle lay a deliberate, well-planned effort to distribute massive resources to those who needed them most, a dynamic that we will fully unpack in the final chapter of our report. The revelation of the massive $26 million charitable initiative did not completely erase the public debate, but it fundamentally transformed the conversation into a complex analysis of modern success, legacy, and the true meaning of celebrity responsibility. To fully comprehend how this unique gathering became such a powerful cultural flashpoint, one must look closely at the remarkable journeys of the two individuals at the center of the storm. Both born in the late 1980s and currently navigating their late 30s at 36 years old, they represent the absolute peak of achievement in their respective fields. The bride, a generational singer-songwriter whose career has spanned 2 decades of unparalleled commercial and critical triumph, has built a global community of fans that rivals the population of many nations. Her ability to turn personal narratives into universal anthems has made her far more than a musician. She is an economic powerhouse and a definitive cultural force whose every move shifts industries. Alongside her stands the groom, a legendary professional athlete whose physical dominance, strategic brilliance, and charismatic personality have cemented his status as one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game of American football. Together, they represent an unprecedented convergence of distinct worlds, creating a partnership that captures the global imagination with a level of intensity rarely seen in modern history. Their historic journey toward the altar at Madison Square Garden was a narrative years in the making, filled with public milestones that were documented with intense media scrutiny. The public first received official confirmation of their connection during a highly publicized interview for a major global publication, where the iconic singer described their bond with a refreshing, grounded simplicity, characterizing them as just two ordinary people supporting each other while doing what they love. This mutual support became the foundational bedrock of their relationship, visible to millions as they cheered each other on from stadium luxury suites to the front rows of international concert venues. The romance reached a beautiful milestone in August of the year 25, a moment that highlighted their ability to maintain a sense of intimacy despite their monumental public personas. While the singer was fully occupied with her immense professional commitments, a dedicated team quietly descended upon the lush, private home garden of the professional athlete to carefully prepare a breathtaking setting for a life-changing proposal. When they officially announced their engagement to the world on social media, they did so with a playful, self-deprecating humor that instantly endeared them to millions. Using a caption that affectionately joked about an English teacher and a gym teacher getting married, a light-hearted nod to their distinct cultural identities that contrasted beautifully with the immense wealth and power they wield. This contrast between playful simplicity and staggering scale is precisely why their choice of entertainment at Madison Square Garden provoked such a passionate, polarized response from the public. For the elite guests who gathered within the beautifully transformed arena, the luxury raffle was viewed as a creative, exceptionally generous extension of hospitality. An unforgettable gesture from hosts who wanted to share their immense success in a tangible, highly memorable way. Yet, for an outside world observing through the digital lens of social media, the image of wealthy celebrities winning Chanel bags and Cartier watches felt like a stark, uncomfortable symbol of growing global inequality. This duality highlights a fascinating shift in the public's relationship with modern icons, showing that today's audiences demand an unprecedented level of social awareness and accountability, even during moments of purely private celebration. The fact that the couple chose to simultaneously distribute $26 million to critical causes suggests that they were deeply aware of this responsibility. Constructing a dual narrative where extreme private luxury was intentionally balanced by a massive, highly impactful public contribution to society, the true impact of that massive generosity is felt far beyond the digital arguments of social media, manifesting in the everyday operations of the nonprofit organizations that receive these transformative funds. By directing millions of dollars toward food banks, children's hospitals, and educational programs, the couple provided vital resources that will directly improve the lives of thousands of ordinary families for years to come. In places like Reading, Pennsylvania, and the communities of Middle Tennessee, these funds are being converted into fresh food, advanced medical care, and enhanced learning opportunities, creating a legacy of positive social change that far outlasts the temporary controversy of a wedding raffle. This calculated act of philanthropy demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of power and influence, showing that true legacy is defined not just by the height of one's success or the grandeur of one's celebrations, but by the tangible, positive footprint left behind in the lives of vulnerable populations. Ultimately, the grand gathering at Madison Square Garden will be remembered as a defining cultural milestone of the modern era, an event that perfectly captured the complex, often contradictory nature of contemporary celebrity culture. It was a night where the boundaries of music, sports, luxury, and philanthropy were completely blurred, leaving the world with an unforgettable story that will be analyzed and debated for generations. For the thousand icons, moguls, and stars who witnessed the celebration firsthand, it was a spectacular testament to a historic partnership built on mutual respect, shared ambition, and extraordinary achievement. For the millions who watched from afar, it served as a powerful reminder of the immense influence wielded by modern icons and the deep cultural conversations that arise when ultimate success meets public scrutiny. As the echoes of the music fade and the arena returns to its normal routine, the story of this monumental day remains a fascinating study in the delicate balance between private joy and public responsibility. A moment when the world stopped to witness the official union of two global forces who continue to redefine the cultural landscape in real time.